Right now, sitting in your kitchen, there's a version of your food that is 5 times more powerful than what you're eating. Same herbs, same leaves, same $2 bunch from the store, but almost none of it is reaching your body. You sprinkle oregano on your food, maybe throw basil into a sauce, add a little mint to tea, and you assume you're getting the benefits. You're not, because inside every leaf, the real compounds are locked away, trapped behind microscopic walls your body barely knows how to break. So you eat it, feel healthy, and absorb almost nothing. Meanwhile, those same compounds are being extracted, concentrated, and sold back to you in capsules for 20, 30, sometimes 50 times the cost. And here's the part nobody tells you. There's a method older than modern medicine, older than pharmacies, older than almost every supplement company on Earth, that unlocks all of it. No machinas, no chemicals, no cost, just salt, water, and time. And once you see it, you won't look at your kitchen the same way again. Because this isn't just about preserving food. This is about transforming it, turning something ordinary into something alive. Let's start with what's actually hiding inside the herbs you already own. Basil isn't just a garnish. It contains rosmarinic acid, one of the most studied anti-inflammatory compounds in plant science. Oregano contains carvacrol, a compound researchers have tested against bacteria that don't respond to antibiotics. Thyme contains thymol, the same molecule used in antiseptic mouthwashes for over a century. Rosemary holds carnosic acid, linked to brain protection and oxidative stress defense. Mint carries menthol, used in everything from pain relief to respiratory support. These aren't weak plants. They're chemically active, potent, and in many cases, pharmaceutical grade in their effects. But there's a problem. Almost all of it is locked. Plant cells are built like tiny fortresses. The compounds you actually want, the polyphenol, the essential oils, the bioactive molecules, are trapped inside thick cell walls. And your body? It's not very good at breaking those walls down. So when you eat raw herbs, most of those compounds pass straight through you untouched. Gone. That's why companies extract them. They use heat, pressure, alcohol, or advanced methods to force those compounds out, then package them into capsules and sell them back to you. They're solving a real problem, but they're not the only way to solve it. Because there's another process, one that doesn't just extract those compounds. It transforms them. It starts with something invisible. Bacteria. The same natural bacteria that turn cabbage into sauerkraut or milk into yogurt are already sitting on the surface of every fresh herb you buy. You don't need to add them. They're already there. And when you give them the right environment, they wake up. When herbs are submerged in salt water, something incredible happens. Oxygen disappears. And in its place, these bacteria take over. They begin feeding, multiplying, and producing enzymes that start breaking everything down from the inside. They tear apart the cell walls. They cut the bonds holding compounds hostage. They shrink large molecules into smaller ones your body can actually absorb. In simple terms, they unlock the plant. And while they're doing that, they're creating new compounds that didn't exist before. Calming neurotransmitters, good supporting acids, natural antimicrobial peptides. Your raw herbs don't have these. Your fermented herbs do. That's not a small upgrade. That's a completely different substance. This is where everything shifts. Because now you're not just eating herbs. You're consuming something alive. Something actively changing, evolving, getting stronger. While supplements degrade the moment they're made, this process builds over time. And it costs almost nothing. Here's how simple it actually is. You take fresh herbs, any kind, basil, mint, oregano, thyme, rosemary. Rinse them lightly. Don't scrub them clean. You want the natural bacteria? Roughly tear or chop them. Place them into a jar. Then you make a simple saltwater solution. Just water and salt. Stir until it dissolves. Pour it over the herbs until everything is completely submerged. This part matters. Anything above the water spoils. Everything below it transforms. So you press it down. Wait if you need to. Then you cover it loosely. Not airtight. The process creates gas. It needs space to breathe. And then you wait. Day 1 feels like nothing is happening because everything is happening where you can't see it. Day 2, tiny bubbles begin to form. That's the first sign. Life. The bacteria are active now. They're working. By day 3, the liquid turns slightly cloudy. The smell changes. Not rotten, not spoiled, but sharp, tangy, alive. By day 5 to 7, it's ready. The flavor shifts completely. Sour, deep, complex. And the herbs themselves? Softer, darker, transformed. What you're holding now is not what you started with. Not even close. And if you want to take it further, you combine them. Basil for anti-inflammatory compounds. Oregano for antimicrobial power. Thyme for its antiseptic effects. Rosemary for brain and antioxidant support. Mint for cooling and respiratory function. All in one jar. One simple mixture, holding some of the most studied plant compounds on Earth. And instead of being locked away, they're available. Accessible. Ready. Now here's the part most people miss. You don't just get one product. You get two. The herbs themselves, and the liquid they sit in. That liquid, the brine, is loaded. Acids, bacteria, free compounds. A small amount each day is enough. The herbs can be added to meals. The brine can be taken on its own, and both continue evolving as they sit. But this only works if you respect the process. Everything must stay submerged. Air creates mold. Water creates transformation. Use the right salt, not the kind filled with additives. Use water without chlorine, because chlorine kills the very bacteria you need. And pay attention. A good ferment smells alive. Sharp. Sour. If it smells rotten, something went wrong. Start again. What you're doing here isn't new. It's ancient. Cultures all over the world figured this out long before modern science could explain it. They didn't know about enzymes or molecular breakdown. They just knew the fermented version worked better. It lasted longer. It required less. And it made people feel different. Somewhere along the way, we forgot. We replaced it with factories, with capsules, with labels and price tags. And we started paying for something we could create in our own kitchen in minutes. Ayar. Salt. Water.